If you're creating an LLC in 2025, then you absolutely need to know the best tax write-offs that you're eligible for. You see, understanding the write-offs for new LLC owners can help you maximize your tax savings, which is extremely important early on in getting a business off the ground. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to break down these top tax write-offs for new LLC owners in 2025 so you know how to take advantage of it. Let's get started. Number one, startup costs. Let's face it, for most of us, it takes money to make money. This means that there is a very good chance that you will have some money to spend early on in setting up your business. And this is true whether you're just opening up a barbershop or a car dealership or a law firm. It doesn't matter. It's hard to get a business up and running without an initial investment. The good news is that in 2025, the IRS still allows you to write off certain startup costs. Startup costs are the costs that you incur while setting up the business. This can include costs for the business plan development, the market research, creating a website, surveys. You can deduct $5,000 in startup costs during your business's first year, but any expenses that go beyond the $5,000 limit must be spread out over 15 years. So if your total startup organizational costs are under $5,000, you'll deduct the full amount right away. However, if your costs exceed $5,000, it will take a little bit longer to write off the full amount. Now, moving on, let's talk about home office expenses. If you run an LLC from your home and if you have a space that you use regularly and exclusively for business, then you can qualify for a home office deduction. This deduction allows you to take a portion of the expenses related to your home due to the fact that it is serving as the principal location of where you operate your business. But there are rules for claiming the home office deduction. For example, you can't claim the home office deduction if it is not your principal place of business. So if you own a restaurant and if you have an office at your restaurant but occasionally work out of your spare bedroom, you won't be able to claim the home office deduction in this situation. If you do qualify for it, then here are some expenses that you might be able to deduct as a portion of claiming the home office deduction. You can write off your rent, you can write off a percentage of your mortgage interest, homeowner's insurance, HOA expenses, utilities, and property taxes. There are two methods you can use to claim the home office deduction. There's the simplified method, and then there's the actual expense method. With the simplified method in 2025, you can deduct $5 per square foot up to 300 square feet. This gives you a total maximum deduction of about $1,500. The actual expense method allows you to deduct the percentage of your qualifying home expenses that are related to your home office space. To calculate your home office deduction using the actual expense method, here's how it works. You divide the square footage of the home office by the square footage of the entire house. Once you have this percentage of your house that is the home office space, you can deduct the same percentage of all eligible home office expenses. For example, let's say that your home office makes up 10% of your home's overall square footage. In this case, you will be able to deduct 10% of qualifying expenses. If you have $30,000 in home expenses, you would take a $3,000 deduction on your returns. As you can see, the actual expense method can lead to a larger home office deduction, and for this reason, many people do the calculations for both methods and then choose which method leads to a larger tax deduction. Okay, before we move on, I need to talk to you guys about Bizee. When it comes to setting up an LLC, Bizee is the absolute most helpful resource out there. All you have to do is go to Bizee.com and select your entity type and state. Then the service will walk you through the process of setting up your limited liability company. It even helps you prepare and file your articles of organization with your state government to get your business operational and in good standing. Bizee can also help you set up and register other business entities. So if you want to set up an S Corp or a C Corp or even a nonprofit, you can do so on their platform. The company also offers services to help business owners with other tasks, such as setting up a virtual address, getting your EIN number from the IRS, tax ID numbers, getting business licenses, permits, registered trademarks, and much more. Bizee is a privately held 100% bootstrap company, which means it's free to do anything differently. The company is not beholden to some private equity or investors or aggressive growth metrics. Bizee's mission has always been simple: do right by its clients by providing exceptional services at fair and honest prices. Bizee's success over the past 20 years speaks volumes for itself. While other businesses build their business on the assumption that customers won't notice the fine print, Bizee has built its success on the belief that customers deserve better. So if you want to learn more about what Bizee can do for you, click the link on the description below to save some money in setting up your first LLC. Now back to this video. Will you be hiring employees or contractors for your business? If so, then you'll be able to deduct the wages or fees you pay to them. Why? Because as long as employees or contractors you hire do actual work for your business, then the IRS considers these wages to be valid business expenses. Under Code Section 162A, the IRS allows business owners to deduct expenses that are necessary, ordinary, and reasonable to the business in the pursuit of income. Some people who start businesses do not fully understand the tax side of being a business owner and thus do not realize that they're able to get a write-off for wages or paid contractors. If you are in that camp, now you know. Now, what about vehicle expenses? If you use your vehicle for business purposes, you can take advantage of vehicle-related deductions. However, keep in mind that if you use the vehicle for both personal and business, you can only deduct the percentage of business use that you've used the vehicle for. When it comes to claiming the vehicle expenses, you have two options. You can take the standard mileage method, or you can take the actual expense method. With the standard mileage method, you can deduct a fixed amount for every business mile you drive during the year. For 2025, you get a 70 cents per mile deduction. So for example, if you drive 10,000 business miles, that's a $7,000 deduction using this method. There are a number of apps such as MileIQ, QuickBooks that you can use to help you track your mileage. These apps are extremely handy. Alternatively, if you prefer not to use the standard mileage rate, you can opt for the actual expense method. This approach involves calculating the total expenses for the vehicle: fuel, insurance, maintenance, repairs, registration fees, and even the depreciation. You can apply the percentage of the business use of the vehicle and take a tax deduction. You could even use code section 179 to claim a larger amount of depreciation depending on your vehicle's size. You can learn more about this right here. Now let's talk about fees for professional services. Throughout the course of running your business in the first year, I can almost guarantee that you'll spend money on different professional services. For example, you may have to hire a lawyer to help you solve key challenges legality-wise, or perhaps you may hire a sales consultant to analyze your current sales methods, or to just hire a sales rep. LLCs pay for a wide variety of professional services, and these fees are generally deductible. So don't forget to write these off when you're doing them on your taxes. These deductions are substantial. How about marketing and advertising? Many businesses pay to advertise their goods and services in order to start generating sales. All of the following types of marketing are commonly paid for by LLC owners: Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, SEO, social media influencers, radio ads, TV ads, newspaper flyers. So if you pay for any of these types of advertising, you are going to be able to write off all of these costs in the year they're incurred. How about office space rent? Not everyone uses a home office as a primary place of business. If you have an office outside of your home, you can deduct 100% of your rent for commercial office space. Obviously, this can be a very sizable office deduction depending on what you're capable of affording, but don't sleep on this tax deduction if you rent a space for your business. Pretty cool strategies, right? All right, now it's time for me to answer a question from one of my subscribers. This question came in from Alicia Gamble 2131 on my Do the Rich Really Pay Their Fair Share in Taxes video that I posted recently. The question was, how do I pay a partner in a business as an employee? If your partner is an employee, you're gonna give them a salary. If they are your partner, meaning that you file married filing joint with them, you could choose to place them as a shareholder in the business and not give them a salary, and they can take distributions, which is non-taxable income. There are multiple ways in which we can pay a partner depending on what we are trying to accomplish on the tax return. If you need any help in determining how to properly pay your employees, go ahead and book a consultation by visiting the link below. We'd be more than happy to schedule a free call with you to see what we're capable of doing. My name is Karlton Dennis. I hope this video helped you out understand the basics of taking tax write-offs as a new LLC owner. I trust that you're going to be learning more from my channel. Without further ado, go ahead and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Cheers.